everyone, this is me, Magati Narayanan from Impact, coming to you all from Space Kids India. Today we have our most exciting guest of all time, Dr. Srimati Kesan, and she's been one of the only Indian to be the brand ambassador of the top three space organizations, the NASA, ESA, and also the GCKC Moscow, right? Huh?
Yes.
So welcome you, ma'am. We're very happy to welcome you to Impact Review today. And she's been a true inspiration to all the school children out there and has been breaking barriers and has been launching dreams to satellites and orbits. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Magani. You've given a great introduction. I hope I do justice for what you've introduced me to.
Thank you. So how are you, ma'am?
Allah. Thank you so
How
much.
is it space now?
Space Kids. Space Kids is doing good.
Okay. So I think it's been almost 13 years since you started Space Kids.
Yes.
So how did this journey start, and did you remember the day when this idea popped up into your mind? How is this journey?
இதெல்லாம் வந்து, you cannot forget such special moments. To name it as Space Kids, people were first, at home, why Space Kids? But then I said, you need a platform. Platform is also called space. Space, inner space. So if you put space இருக்கிறப்போ வந்து, I think I need to phrase it as space. And everybody's got a kid within them. So whatever be the age, if you're not losing that curiosity, you're a kid. So Space Kids and Patriotism India. So that's why we had it as Space Kids India. And I remember this was launched on 11th of February. Okay? And this idea popped up. But there's a huge story, huge background behind this. I'll just take quickly 2 minutes to share that. Basically, I was an all-rounder at school and college. I came from Hyderabad, and I was a national basketball player. I played 10 nationals. I was a state athlete. I was a paratrooper. I was an all-India silver medalist firing. Okay, and I was a parade commander for the Republic Day NCC at Delhi. Okay. After that, on 22nd of November to 1992. I was the first girl cadet to hold the sword and lead the parade. Okay? And General K.V. Kushra was the guest for that. And he was so excited to see a girl cadet leading a parade with a sword. So he immediately called for my father and he said, I'm so impressed by your daughter. And I think we need girls like her in the armed forces. So my dad was so thrilled. But destiny, my dad pulled out my wedding card and he handed it to him. So, from Sword, the same day, we leave to Chennai for my wedding. So, destiny, from Sword, I jumped to Spatira. Nalla dosa pannuven. Murigalana dosa. So that's how destiny changed. I was there at home on a sabbatical for 18 years. I completed my graduation after my wedding. I had my daughter immediately. And after 16 years, that grit to have doctor in the prefix, I did a master's in tourism and then subsequently my doctorate. That's why it was Dr. Srimati. And I was so excited. But in the interim, I was helping support my friend in the travel company that he was running. I used to play badminton, and that's where we started. And there, in a process, I got to meet an old friend of mine in a conference. After 16 years, an NCC cadet, she was too, from Maharashtra. She was called Rima Sisodia, and we met here in Chennai, and she was asking me what I was doing with life. I told her I was making good dosas, idlis and pastas, and she was like shocked. She said the best cadet of Andhra Pradesh and who was to get into the armed forces, not doing anything, who spoke so much that she was going to be doing so much for the country. I said yes, but destiny changed and I don't know. But that little fire within me was always there, to do something for the country. And I love children. And she put me onto a conference in Miami, and I went there. I got to see the Space Coast director. I met with him. I met the astronaut there, and I got complete information about the NASA space camps. After 18 years of being at home, suddenly to get into this world was, I don't know, it was dramatic, emotional, everything put together, I should say. So after going there, after the interactions and everything, I said, I think this is it. I need to put my step forward. In fact, to go to the US also, do I have the visas and everything? 6 hours before the flight, I got the permissions from her. See, because typical South Indian family, you may be, an all-rounder at school and college and everything. But yet, once you're married, at least my generation, it's like you have to be there at home, take care of family, children, husband, in-laws. So it went off like that. But then that urge to do something, the urge to feel that Srimati was born for a purpose. It's not that she's just going to be, at home, a wife, a mother. No, she needs to make an identity. And I've always had this that I was not going to be working to make millions and billions. It was always ingrained right as a child for me that I need to do something different, something unique that can make children earn those millions and billions. I was somehow, maybe because of spirituality or so, was a very contented person, and I was working towards creating lives for children. And that is where I should say space had a huge, repeatedly traveling to NASA. I started feeling the call that I need to do something for the children in this industry from India. So that's where I started Space Kids India as a, scientific experiential learning organization initially. And I didn't know for nuts that, we were going to build satellites and all that. But subsequently, after about 5 years or so, this thought came in that, we should start launching satellites because only ISRO was doing it. And from India, there were no private players. If I'm going to be saying in 2015, there was nobody there. And women, just forget it. Okay? And more so, a commerce graduate getting into an aerospace industry, oh, you totally forget it. So it was like that. So breaking all the barriers and everything, built this world, I should say. Space Kids India is a world to me. So built that world where children can, fulfill their dreams and ambitions of building a satellite, creating a profession for themselves in space. I told you, beware.
So, talking about children, if a child is really passionate about getting into a space thing, what skills or what is the initial tip that you think they need? Or what is the drive that they need?
See, after launching our world's lightest satellite, the Kalamsat, it was built by my team who were, from the ages between 14 until 17. People have started calling me. Every day I would receive at least 20-25 calls. And my daughter is talking about planets and, I think she will do astrophysics. Can you please guide her? I was, oh wow, okay, which class is she in? Ma'am, she is 2.5 years old. Am I running a creche here? I'm not a babysitter. So, unfortunately here in India, I should say, parents become so aggressive that, something little that their children do, they need to be focused on television. They need to win awards. It's not that, they have to go into the depth of the learning. See, you cannot just like that, get into this industry. It's vast, it's deep, it's difficult, for scientists working over the years. See, why I handpicked children and started working on this industry is because without hands-on experience. You go into ISRO or you go into any of the aerospace organizations, it's very, very difficult for anybody to understand that. And there were volumes of books, but nothing hands-on. So that's the reason I thought maybe high school and beyond, I would take them and mentor and then build satellites. And we did have, grace of God, my team. When I built my team, the first child was Rifat, and subsequently Sai, Gobi, all these people, they had this inner talent in them in physics and math, and everybody were like, weird scientists. It was just that I needed to, bring them all together, fund this whole thing, get permissions, all those things I needed to support. My children, if you ask me, start with the basics. Learn about planets, learn about your Earth, learn about space, everything in books, and interact with people who are for that, and then you get into the industry slowly. It's not that you need to have a special quality to get into the space industry. No, space industry is STEAM. You have science, you have engineers, you have scientists, you have engineers, you have managers, you have financials, you have everybody. So this is one industry where an artist can come in, a financial can come in, a mechanical engineer, a radionics engineer. See, it's a comprehensive industry. So it's not that because I have this talent, because I'm good with electronics, I will do this. All these people put together. It's a combination. One person cannot build a satellite or rocket.
So the most exciting part, how is the zero gravity experience?
Oh my God, it is, I cannot fathom it. It is so good. And I can't believe it's over and done.
We are very grateful to talk to a person who has experienced zero gravity. So could you please share?
Sure. Because, when this, opportunity popped up, I was so excited because, I'm in this industry for almost a decade. And I've been talking to astronauts, meeting astronauts, cosmonauts, everybody. But, so what happens is, it's like, you want to go to space, But I know, though I've been a sportsman, avid sportsman and everything, now if you ask me, I'm not sure whether I can do the astronautic training. It is extremely difficult. Okay, and especially when you begin with, they will handpick, fighter pilots. So I'm neither anywhere. So this opportunity came as a divine opportunity, I should say. And not only that, it's not just going into zero gravity. It was like you were going into zero gravity, you were flying into zero gravity with a Apollo astronaut. See, that's the icing of the cake. You have just 4 astronauts, who walked on the moon, who are alive now. And you get to go along with them, in the zero gravity flight.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to come out, but unfortunately we had to. What a great experience, I can't tell you. And it's just that for me, when I experience it, I always want, the children from India also to experience it. I know it's extremely expensive, so I'm just thinking, how to make this economical, or is there any other alternate vehicle that we can build and we can use for this purpose? Because I think everybody has to go through that once in a lifetime. It gives a different perception to life, and I think you'll start looking at life in a different dimension. So, that's what I started to, maybe too much spiritual, but yes, I would say that will give you a different perception towards life.
Wow. Naturally, I feel like I should have experienced it once in life. Maybe.
No, seriously. So that's what I'm just working. Hopefully, we will interact with ISRO. We will maybe, develop a vehicle that is economical, and our Indian pilots could fly that here in India. And, anything. That's how I started NASA also. When I went there, I was almost awestruck, and I started crying because we just get to read in textbooks about NASA. So when I felt that, I wanted the Indian children to feel that. So that's why I built in a program for that and started taking children. So similarly, I've experienced this zero gravity, and especially with Charlie Duke. Oh my God! I mean, he's a great astronaut, and the experiences that he shared. He mentioned about his moonwalk and all that was like, oh, out of the world. Seriously, out of the world. So similar experiences I want our Indian children, you all, to have that. So hopefully, not very soon, but at least in the next 3 or 4 years, I think we should be able to build a vehicle and, as economical as possible. Indian, we think of jugaads, We're very good with that.
So, to come up with, if an engineer is interested in rocket science, so if he wants to join NASA or if he wants to go ISRO or somewhere, what is the next step do you think after finishing his engineering should he step into, or what do you think he should do?
You have to, for ISRO person, see, NASA, it is out of question because NASA, you can work as interns, and now they've opened up internship for international students and all that. But they will not take you for a permanent job, because they will prioritize only American citizenship. So India, whereas ISRO, you all can apply to ISRO. You can clear the examination, clear the, you have, I think, a group discussion and interviews and all that, and you can join ISRO. That's no big deal. Yes.
Talking about everything now, and how is your G10 mission, the
G100.
sorry, G100 mission million? And could you share us a few words?
G100 is a non-profit organization where we are coming together, women are coming together from different fraternities, and we want to give it away to the society. So what best from our industry per se, what we can do, we are trying to give back. And Dr. Harbeen Arora is a very, very nice woman. She is the lead, and she's brought us all together.
I could see a lot of women energy around you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe because
Yes.
300.
No, it's because of this satellite,
Made only out of rural.
Yes, this is a special satellite very close to my heart, 750 rural girl children from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I handpicked them, and my team, built in a beautiful curriculum for them, and they were there to teach them how to build payloads. So we built in about 75 payloads, and which was them, my team put together the communication system, the power system, and everything, and they integrated this satellite. And this satellite on ground is 8U. When it goes up in space, it expands to 64U. Okay, so that kind of technology we were working on it as ABSAT. Yes. And you know what? The proposal I shared when I was in the ICCU on the ventilator at Apollo. So almost the doctors gave up on me, but then I said, no, I'm a fighter. I'm coming back. I'm not just like that going away. I need to leave. I need to leave a big legacy before I, hit the market. So this proposal, I gave it to ISRO when I was on the bed, in the ventilator.
And how did this thing happen? I guess it's the most lightest.
Yeah, it's the lightest and the first ever 3D printed satellite in the last
I thought that satellite would be this small.
Yes. Basically, we're all sitting here, this place.
Oh, okay.
We were all sitting, we didn't have a lab then and all that. We just had launched the balloon sat, and that created waves across the globe. So there was a, aerospace company from Texas who said, if you can make one new satellite which will go on in suborbit, can you build and ship it to us? Will you be interested? So the next step is that. So, getting an opportunity immediately was like, grab it. So we were working, and we were, the day we shipped it, my team, they're all my kids. So it's like I have to play the role of ma'am, and mom. So A and O, juggle between that. And my team, they all were sitting there and they were like, we're all exhausted. They were just like in +1, +2. So we were all like tired. We want gulab jamun. See, such a nice thing. We built a nice, beautiful suburb. Imagine I was sitting with you guys. Last 7 days we had no sleep. I said, we don't care. We want gulab jamuns. That's it. And I had to heat to it. And I went and prepared gulab jamuns and brought. So my lead scientist is this young kid from Pallakatti, Rafat Shah. He's my first kid. So he and the lead engineer Hasan, both of them were sitting and they were like, oh wow, gulab jamun is so good. I said, come on. You guys asked me to make it. Now eat it. So then they were like, no ma'am. See, funding is a huge problem in space industry. Because the launch, in 2015, 2016, the launch cost would be somewhere around $60,000 to $1 lakh, just the launch cost. Then building cost. So that's why people, the space is niche industry, it's not for the commoners. That's how it's being branded. So we wanted to disrupt that. I wanted to bring that to the common man. Because to learn about Earth, you need to go to space. So that's the reason satellites, space tourism, everything is so beautiful and so important for humanity. So then out of that gulab jamun, and the same night, you won't believe, I think again, Destiny and Universe conspired. We had this competition announcement by NASA and I do the link in USA, who announced that you can build any experiment in 64 grams and send it to us. We will launch it in a rocket free of cost. I feel like that only my eyes also popped out. Free of cost. Oh my God, we have to do something different. So we didn't want to just send electronics. What we thought was we'd put it into a skeleton. We built a skeleton around it, make a nice structure, and build it like a satellite. So we 3D printed this with carbon fiber polymers, and we had all these electronic systems, subsystems, and everything. And then we shipped it. People look crazy. I mean, Chris Powder from Powder Aerospace Ground Consortium said, I just fell off the chair, Dr. Jason. I mean, what marvel. Young children from your country are such intelligent. Wonderful. So that's the story. It's a gulab jamun satellite, basically, and then we named it Gulab Satellite.
And you've been an amazing energetic role model throughout your journey, ma'am. So you reached these heights almost to space. And how has the journey been? Was there any tough times that you would say, like, maybe India should change itself for the upcoming?
See, it's not India. Without challenges, there is no success. There is no easy route to success at all. And me, best example, because that's not from the aerospace, not even an engineer. And when I have to do all this, always there is bringbacks. So but I, like a student, sit with my children and learn everything. So that, when I can interact with people, I can talk to them and I can tell them what we've done. So that's a huge difference. It all lies within. And especially for women, if I have to tell, you need to believe in yourself. Seldom women believe in themselves and they feel that they are picture perfect. One mistake and they curse themselves like anything, they want to give up. Every satellite of ours literally has sucked my blood will come out. And the launch day, just one day before, my mom will go to the ICU. 4 orbital satellites we launched. 3 orbital satellites used was. And if I have to narrate things like that, it's like I could write a storybook. But I don't want to do that. Every human being has got challenges. Even a little child has got a challenge. But it's how you view the challenge, how you're able to overcome it. அவங்க சொல்லிட்டு போயிடுவாங்க நமக்குலாம் முடியவே முடியாது. No, that attitude is what is the difference between a normal person and a successful person. That's it. Success is not earning millions and trillions. It's like how confident you are. Okay, you sleep, you wake up, dress up, show up. That should be the attitude. Come what may. You might be in hunger. So many nights we've slept. You'll have so much of food, but you'll be hungry. You will not be able to eat because you're working hard. But when you're not working, you want food, you may not have food. But you should know how to handle this situation, you should know how to handle this situation. Ultimately, what's your focus? Walk through your focus. I bet universe will conspire and give you best results. So never, never, never cry. As human beings, of course, 5 minutes, that's all. Just 5 minutes, cry, stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm not made up for this, I'm made up for something big. So please give me that courage. Srimati, you can do it. Immediately I wash my face. I dab this lipstick. This is the only thing that I do. And I say, oh wow, I'm looking so beautiful. Let's work. What's the next idea? That's how I've been living all through.
That's actually true, and it's really inspiring because we all have been facing very small problems in our lives too, and that will keep us down. And now hearing it from you, you handle satellites.
When you know to handle human beings, you can handle satellites very easily. When you know to handle people around you, then you know how to handle machines. Yes, absolutely. Because funding for this is a huge challenge. We don't have funding. And it's very difficult for people didn't understand what satellites will do. Why should I fund? Because when you sponsor something, you need to have billboards, you need to have advertisements, you need to do all that. In satellites, I can't do anything. What can I do? Where can I give a poster or a banner here? Right? And it might fail also. So people are not ready to accept that still. So once that acceptance comes, then maybe we can do more in the space industry. And I think I'm the only woman in this industry for the last 10, 12 years who's launched so many space missions.
Truly a powerful So talking about today, I guess our budget has been lost for space.
Yes.
And
Not for space, in general, our budget.
So how is that being managed?
Okay, space, they have increased 2,000 crores. So from the previous budget, 12,000 crore, now it's become 14,000 crores. But yet that is a minuscule. When you compare to US and when you compare to China, Russia and all that, our space budget is a minuscule. Of course, we got our scientists and our chairman ISRO, Dr. Sopna, and of course now we have the InSpace, Dr. Bhavin Goenka. They are doing wonders to actually keep up this space industry sane, because if you're not able to get so much of funding, it is very, very difficult to work. One component costs so expensive, very expensive. And when we are so ambitious, we've done Chandrayaan, we've done Aditya, all these missions are all exorbitant, but we have done in fraction of a movie cost. Steven Spielberg's movies, 10% of the cost we've done these launches. Whereas the other countries, it's so expensive. So that is the reason government should think about increasing the space budget, because space is the future. There's so much going to be in space. Well, on the contrary, 1,000 crores of VC fund, they are going to be parked, government is going to be parked for startups, especially for space startups. In fact, that is what I had written yesterday, that, probably the government should do something like this to hold the space ecosystem and to hold the best talents of India. And I think, I don't know if I had mics or anything, and Honorable Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman has heard me saying it. I had published it yesterday in the week. And today this was announced. So that is a welcome. Again, that is also a small fund, and we are not very clear about how it is going to be disbursed and all that. But yet, it is very important that, something like this is happening. So the startups, youngsters like you all can think about, getting into the space industry.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was absolutely was great insight from you today, and it was really encouraging and energetic. I don't know if we all would be so energetic as you are now. So now focus on the growth, and we're excited to see where this journey takes you, and also Space Kids to the future endeavors. So thank you so much today for having us here, and we had a great time with you.
Thank you so much. And before we leave, I would like to say that our next mission that we are embarking on is called Mission Shakti Sat, where for the first time in history, we are bringing in 108 countries together to build a spacecraft to be injected in lunar orbit. So pray for us, and really stand by us wherever possible, because I need all you children, all you youngsters support. So hopefully we will do this mission successfully.
And one last question to all the young engineers who has just finished or just entered, whoever the children may be, and you could give them a small piece of advice to all the
In
children.
fact, that's what shouldn't be done, because all the youngsters employees nale odiduvanga. See, you know why? Because the age where we are in, and the age where you children are in, you don't fear of anything. That's the beauty of it. You want to do out of the box. So what? நீங்க இந்த மாதிரி நடந்து fail ஆனீங்க. I want to walk this path and make it successful. So why stop him? Why stop her? No advices. Be there behind them. Enjoy them. Walk in the front. In case they are going to be falling, give your hand, hold them. That's the least you can do, because I am very, very positive Indian youngsters, I think, will rock everything. And the thought processes and everything is so very different. We are differently wired, maybe because of our food, of our taste, of water, I don't know whatsoever. But Indian youth are, I don't know, in comparison, very strong, and maybe we undergo the regimen that we are brought up, the way we are brought up. I think we can face everything and be strong and right on home too. So no advices, but I will be there for you all to listen to you. So you need somebody to listen to what you're doing. You don't need to open your mouth. So I have thousands of children across the globe who call me mom, and I wouldn't have seen them also in my life, not even on WhatsApp also. But they would say, I would like to speak to you, I want to know this, can I do this, that piece. So I'm always there for children. So
Thank you so much.
thank
Someone at this height, and to ground us.
I am so short. What height?
No, you're very grounded and you're very approachable too.
Otherwise, I would not be today. I would be missing such wonderful children. God, we don't know why we meet. And I'm a people person. I love to meet new people, and this energy I actually absorb it from all of you. That is why I'm able to be like this. Otherwise, if I'm not going to be meeting anybody, if I'm going to be looking only at myself, I don't know how I'll be. Right? So thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having us here, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you, Aja.
Really, really great for this experience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.